8:45 Wednesday morning, which means it's time for AgroBuzz.
Let me see Jamaica become crime free. In Jamaica, and we're Jamaica for economy. No more breed the last thing. Revelation set. Eat what we grow what we eat. This is good for our economy. All the brand new talk out the street. When we say, eat what we grow what we eat. It's good for our economy. All the brand new talk out the street. Let me put on me Jamaican pot, Jamaican Irish, Jamaican carrot, pumpkin cassava and yellow yam. It makes the athlete them fit and strong. Everybody eat locally. They tell me that I'm in nurse eat locally. Tell the police and the soldier eat locally. And me pants and me shirt make locally. Everybody when me say, eat what we grow what we eat. It is good for our economy.
In the effort to ensure that we are eating what we're growing and growing what we're eating, we have our weekly Wednesday program. It's called AgroBuzz. So we're going to take the music down a little bit so that you can hear me better. All right, here we go. So today's AgroBuzz is going to have us speaking with the champion male youth farmer, Julio Gordon. And this gentleman is on the phone. I have to say welcome, Mr. Gordon. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. And you, Paula?
I am good. And then my next question has to be, is it Julio or Julio? What do you say?
The first one.
So the Spanish pronunciation. Hello, Julio.
Hello.
Welcome to AgroBuzz on Sunny Side Up on Radio Jamaica 94 FM. And well, let me just prepare our listeners for those folks who are just joining. A part of securing the future of agriculture and fisheries in Jamaica means supporting the work of farmers like Mr. Gordon. He's our champion male youth farmer, and he works in both livestock and crop production, farming bananas, planting, pine. He has a herd of goats. And I tell you, Mr. Gordon, I think your connection is before exactly how farming has just opened up new horizons for you and what the 4-H Club had to do with that. So let's start, Mr. Gordon, with farming and you. How has that changed your life?
Well, farming has changed my life in many ways. Open up your eyes to the reality of, what is happening today globally, where, countries are short on food. You have to try and fill that gap, whether you're doing livestock farming or you're doing crop production. One of the two, it is crucial that you try to pull to one or pull to both of them if possible.
Now, you have not just taken on farming by yourself with no help. You've taken advantage of training from the Jamaica 4-H clubs. How has that worked for you?
Well, with that opportunity that I was given by the 4-H club, I'm very, very, very grateful for that because, it has opened my eyes and educated me as it pertains to different aspects of farming and best practices when getting into certain types of farming. So I have to give credit to the 4-H club for, giving me the opportunity to get certified in crop production and livestock, specifically in goat care and management.
What are some of the specific things that you learned? You never know before, but then you went to 4-H and you're like, wow.
Well, when I got into goat farming, there were some things that you try to use common sense to get them done, but it is more technical than you had originally thought. And the 4-H club, for example,
like what?
Like for the goat, caring for their hooks and treating them for parasites. Some parasites I wasn't even aware of, so giving them antibiotics and giving them different types of medication to treat different types of diseases. It was something that, I wasn't aware of at the time, and I did goat farming I had goats when I was younger, but sometimes they would die and you wouldn't know what is wrong with them. And it is recently, after doing my training in goat care and management, that I realized that these were things that if I had known this earlier, I wouldn't have lost some of the animals that I lost. So, that is one thing that, that I learned, after getting certified in goat care and management.
And with that certification now, you are doing well. How about the other folks in your community? What are the attitudes to farming like?
Okay, so for persons in my community, I've realized that because word got out that I won a national competition for farming, so I realized that a lot of young persons know, a lot of males in the community have gotten goats for themselves. Persons are coming to me asking me, what they're supposed to do. Even the other day, a gentleman came to me and said to me that one of his goats was having problems and stuff like that. So I was walking him through some steps on how to care for the animal. And, it is very encouraging when, stuff like that happens. Persons recognize what you have done and, are taking your advice.
I can see how that would be. Yeah, I can see how that would feel good. And you must have had several other moments where you are proud of the things that you're doing and what you've achieved so far. What do you think are the three things that you are most proud of in your journey as a farmer so far?
You say the three things that I'm most proud of?
Yes.
All right. So firstly, I'd have to say I was very, very proud when I got my first I had completed my first goat house. That it took a lot of effort, a lot of time, blood, sweat and tears, literally. And when my first set of females gave birth, that was the second proudest moment. And the third, I'd have to say, is winning the national 4-H youth farmer competition. I would say would be third, and not in any particular order, but I'd have to say those are my three most proudest moments in my journey as a farmer.
And I think that your journey as a farmer has just started, so you can look forward to many more, I'm sure.
Yes.
Okay, so we're wrapping up, but knowing what you know, those persons who are now looking to get started in agriculture, can you give them 2 or 3 bits of advice that you wish you had known when you were just starting?
Well, most definitely, I would have to say, one I'd have to definitely give to them is that, when you're getting into farming, any kind of farming whatsoever, you have to, try to seek out some property that would benefit the type of farming that you are doing. That is one of the advice that I would give them. And the next thing, if you're getting into farming and it doesn't make sense you sit and think about it for too long. You'll just end up procrastinating a lot. As soon as you get the idea that you want to do it and you are able to get started. And the next piece of advice that I want to give to them is that try to acquire knowledge about the type of farming that you're doing, else you stand a high chance of getting or having big losses if you are not educated on what you're doing. The more knowledge you have, the better. So I'd encourage them to get in contact with the 4-H club and try to get themselves certified in whatever area, because they have some really good programs.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gordon, and we wish you all the best.
Okay, thank you, Paula, and thanks for having me.
Our pleasure. Julio Gordon, champion male youth farmer. And Mr. Gordon actually benefited from the 4-H Youth Enterprise Development Program, Rural Youth Economic Empowerment Program, they call it REAP, where he was trained in livestock production, and he participated in the 4-H Club's Youth Farmer Certification Program, where he did his assessment through Heart NSTA Trust. And for any farmers who are interested in opportunities available through the Jamaica 4-H clubs, give them a call at 927-4050, or you can email them jamaica.4h@cwjamaica.com. To keep up with the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, like them on Facebook at Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, follow them on Twitter and Instagram at MOAFJM, and listen up on Sunny Side Up on a Wednesday right here. This has been AgroBuzz.
Jamaican and we're Jamaican for economy. No more breed the last thing.